Oh my
There it
goodness.
is. We're live.
We're live. So
Not by choice.
not well, it's look, we're in the StreamYard already, so we might as well push through, you know.
Let me
Oh
run.
my goodness.
Jump
So
on Facebook real
yeah.
quick so I can put that live button
Oh,
because they
okay.
won't fucking let us just go live normal anymore.
Well, no, yeah, now it's a whole process. Now it's a whole process.
Everything has to be so fucking complicated. All right, let's see. Public. All right,
Okay.
and we're live on Facebook too.
Okay, that's good. That's
Yeah.
good.
There you
So,
go. Yep.
so what day is it today?
Good morning. It is January 24th. It is a Friday in the year of our Lord 2025.
I can't believe we're already almost at the end of January.
I know it's fucking ridiculous.
This is not good.
No, it's not. And I feel
This,
so unaccomplished because
you
snow
know,
fucked up a whole week of my life.
well, but at least it was snow that your family got to enjoy.
Yeah, it
You know?
was. It was
Yeah.
kind of cool. Now we're over it. It can go
Yeah.
fuck back home.
Yeah, exactly. Just like I'm over the cold right now. I think we're supposed to be in the 30s today. Let me check.
I'm not
Yeah,
even
we're at
sure what
29
our fucking
degrees
high.
now. We're at 29.
We're at 43 currently.
Right.
But dude, I saw my temperature outside say 9 fucking degrees.
Oh, is
I
that the
have
wind
never
chill?
No. That was my thermometer outside.
Oh,
Like they said that it got down to 14. It was 9 out here in bumfuck
right.
Egypt.
You said that all the
Like
alligators passed out?
yeah, they went into brumation where they just kind of like stick their noses out the water and then
Right.
like apparently they've been completely frozen before. Not necessarily these gators because I don't know if
Right.
it's ever gotten this cold. But
Right.
yeah, it's like they do a brumation, which is kind of like a hibernation, and they just kind of float and just their nostrils stay above the water, and it's kind of weird, but whatever.
Right. Oh, it's like, hey, they didn't survive millions of years of evolution for nothing to be
Right?
taken out by a cold snap.
Right? Oh my gosh.
Uh,
But snow
snow.
is fucking crazy, and knee-deep snow on me in
Right.
Louisiana is fucking insane.
Right. Yeah. That must have been, yeah, because the video, well, the pictures you sent me were like, oh my God, it's like it was like snowing here.
And that was early on, and what's crazy is I
Right.
did not take another video later, and I really am regretting it,
Right.
because it was about twice that much before everything
Right.
was said and
Oh,
done.
don't worry. It'll probably snow again like that next year.
Global warming. You ready for this bullshit?
Absolutely not. But hit it.
Trigger warning, fuck you.
And fuck you. I mean, good morning.
Good morning, Nita. And good morning, everybody in the chat. Who's in the chat today? Is there an everybody in the
Lou
chat?
and Mike.
Oh, hello.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Yes. And hello, our very sleepy eyeball people watching us from regions beyond.
Our YouTube notifications didn't go out.
Oh, it didn't. Oh, is that what it is?
That.
Oh, okay. So it's going to take a while for people to realize that we're on, but that's okay. That's what the replay is for. And if you're watching us from Facebook, come on over to YouTube. Join the sexy people in the chat. It's a lot easier for us to conversate here on YouTube because Facebook has a tendency to act up as it does. And yeah, we're just streaming to Facebook. Streaming to Facebook and YouTube. That's it.
It's all we can afford in this economy.
Yeah, exactly. In this economy, we have to just YouTube and Facebook, and even then, Oh my goodness. Yeah. Okay. So then it's probably just going to be quiet, just us, I guess, us and the chat
I'm okay
today.
being
But
alone with you.
yeah, you know. Oh my goodness. So, hello everyone. Welcome to another edition of this. Oh, my name is Daphne Lage, and I'm a cartoonist, illustrator, and comic book artist from New York. I have been self-publishing comics since 1992, and you know what that means.
I have anxiety. That means I'm in my shell and have a hard time expressing myself. I find it difficult to engage with others. So everyone shut the up because my anxiety is up here right now.
Up here. It's up here right now, really. And I am known for the furry fantasy adventure Tall Tales and my medieval fantasy drama Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, which is currently on Kickstarter right now with 3 weeks left to go on issue 9 of this 16-issue series. The link is in the chat and in the show notes below. You can read both my comics online at EagleWorks, EGOWORKS, and Tall Tales Online. That's TAILSonline.com. And you can check out all my videos, all 600 plus videos, on how I make my comics here on YouTube at my channel at Daphne Lage, LAGE Art, which also simulcasts through the Indie Comics Network. And while you're here, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever any of our shows goes live. And to tell you more about it, here's Nita.
That was it. I mean, like, yeah, it's Indie Comics Network on YouTube. You can find us through a Google search, Facebook links, whatever.
Right.
It's just me and my friends, and we talk about comics and whatever else the fuck we're talking about, you know?
That's true.
It's just,
Yeah.
It's just a thing. It's just, anybody can do it.
It's true, right? I mean, it's like,
Right?
if anything, you know, YouTube does. Yeah, you know, speaking of, yeah, because YouTube making it easy, right? So, so since the beginning, since January, since 3 weeks ago, because we're almost at the end of January now.
Free trials
right?
almost up.
I've been experimenting with making like these little short videos. They're about 20 minutes each, right?
They're killing it.
Yeah, and it's like all it is just like it's something that I figured that I do just to kind of like document all the artwork that I've done for the week. You know,
Right.
it's just finished artwork. It's not like those are the only pieces of artwork that I'm doing. It's just that I have a lot of unfinished work I haven't finished yet. And then
Right.
once I finish, they end up on the video. And it was just like just a way for me to record something and then like kind of like just talk a little bit about what was on my mind for that week, right? And the whole goal of those videos was, oh, hey Melissa, is just like they're easy to make, they're quick to make. I don't like they take me about at most an hour to edit. I don't do anything fancy, no intros, no nothing. Like pretty much it's the complete opposite of the videos that I used to do where they required like days of planning and I had to write a script and I had to like, and then when I edited it, I had to do special effects and this, that, and the other thing. No, these are just like as simple as I can make them, because the simpler I can make them, the more likely I am to do them, right? So
right.
and I've done 3 so far, and I think I've gained like almost 10 subscribers since I started doing them. And I'm finally seeing my watch hours creep up.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm really, you know, so I'm really glad that people kind of like, you know, I guess kind of like, I think what it is, like everyone's kind of like fed up with like high production value YouTube channel. I mean, YouTube videos or something like that, you know, that it's like, look, if I wanted to watch Netflix,
they're tired. No, they're tired of the mid. It's the mid, like the half-ass productions, the semi-pros. So we ain't doing that anymore.
Really? I mean,
yeah, no, because it's like they still like their fucking ginormous YouTubers with $1 million budgets and shit.
Right.
and then they like keeping it real. Like,
Right.
and
So it's kind of like, unless you can do like really high production, you're actually better off just kind of like
just
keeping it simple.
keeping it simple. Kiss
Right.
theory.
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah. Because it's like that certainly seems to be working.
Like, I don't
'Cause-
like. I think the intros are one thing because it gives people time or whatever, and there's
Right.
that air of familiarity that, like, oh, this is where I am. But
Right. Yeah.
outside of that, it's like,
Right.
whatever. I
Yeah.
tried. I used to try. I'd go in and do the edits and all the fucking,
Right.
and the result was no different.
Right.
However, there is one thing that does make a difference that we've done for science before, figured it out, and then got sidetracked, and that was
Pornography.
re-uploading. No,
Oh.
porn's not always the answer.
So what is it? What's the real?
I'm gonna fucking, because you got to trick the algorithm into thinking that you are making those creative videos. And how do you do that? You put a recorded video up. So after today's live stream, I'm gonna go upload out of the StreamYard,
Uh-huh.
and I'm gonna re-upload instead of leaving the live stream up, and put the re-upload in our playlist.
Oh, interesting. I guess like the replay is actually going to be a re-upload.
Yeah, but as long as we do shit like this, it
Oh.
thinks that we've done something fancy within the video.
Oh.
Everyone does it. Now you can do it too. Shut the fuck up. Shut your mouth.
Like, as long as we throw those clips and cuts in there, the fucking software that filters this out doesn't know the fucking difference.
Right.
And I'm hoping that will help increase the watch hours, so we can get our stickers back.
Right. Yeah, that's what I would like to accomplish this year on YouTube. Is maybe finally get monetized. I want stickers of my own. You know. You know, I mean, it's like, so it was just really nice. Hey, HR, it was just really nice, you know, to see like these 3 videos, these low, kind of like, I wouldn't say that they're low effort, but they're certainly like,
Low budget.
I still have to put in the effort to do them. But they're low enough effort that they're that I can like just do them and upload them in the same day.
Right.
And it's just nice to kind of see a result from that. You know, especially since like I've also made it a point to like just use whatever I have in the house. Like, I'm not
Right.
buying anything new for it. It's like I haven't, you know, it's like, you know, I have a Galaxy 8 phone that I don't use. The camera is still good on that. There's no reason why I needed to ever buy a new camera. Just use an old phone. I forgot that I bought a gimbal, which, you know, I can really, you know, which is, you know, it's very sturdy. So I could just put it on my desk. It doesn't feel like it's about to tip over or anything. I mean, it's just nice. And I don't remember paying a lot for it. I think I paid like $70 for it on Amazon. And I bought this a while ago, and I remembered that I had it, so I started using that. And then I just clipped a microphone to a pen, a wire, because I don't have the wireless microphones. I just have a regular lavalier mic on a wire. I just clipped that to a pen, and like, okay, so there's my microphone.
Right.
Like, so, you know, I didn't have to spend any money on it. Just use the stuff that I had, and then like I just edited it really simply. Like I said, no special effects, no intros, no nothing really. And yeah, and it's just nice to see that the algorithm is reacting to it. I mean, after 600 plus videos, it's kind of nice to finally see that movement, you know? So, yeah. So also I had been seeing videos where like Nick Nimmin, where he was saying, and there was like this other guy saying that it's like, yeah, something changed in the YouTube algorithm where now they're focusing more on smaller channels.
Channels and long form videos again.
Right. Yeah. That's kind of like they're going back to what they used to do before, because I've been seeing a lot of new channels in my feed now. You know,
Same.
like people with like, oh, this one has 20 subscribers, this one has 100 subscribers, you know, like people who are just starting out, and it's like now, you know, and now it's recommending those videos, and it's like, oh, okay, and you know, I guess that's what might as well take advantage while it's before they change the algorithm again. So
Right?
so yeah, so I guess if anybody was thinking of, you know, starting their YouTube channel and making the little
Now's the
videos,
time.
now's the time. Yeah, now's the time. The algorithm is now working in our favor. So yeah, so my goal is to finally get monetized this year. That would be nice. That would be nice.
My goal is to get remonetized and get rid of these goddamn bans that I like to
Oh,
collect.
oh yeah, I know, right? I mean, what is YouTube giving you a hard time again, or is
No,
that just
no, but
Facebook?
I got fed up with it and quit
Right.
trying after a couple claims against the channel. And then there was just a
Copyright
lot of
claim?
chaos. Oh well, yeah, we had copyright claims. I had profanity strikes.
Oh, really?
Because I like to say fuck a lot.
Right. Oh, are we saying that in the first 30 seconds? I know that there's like that we're supposed to keep it clean for like the first, like, I don't
First
remember,
2 minutes or
or
something.
something like that. Yeah. If you want to stay monetized or something.
Yeah,
So
so I probably should stop being like, fuck you as soon as we come on. But you know what? Fuck you. Because, like, yeah, like we got it before. We'll get it again.
right.
It,
Yeah, exactly.
I just gotta, like, it's the ones that they put the 18 and up filter on. So apparently I exceeded that limit too many times.
Oh, no. So you're an adult now.
I've been an adult for years, Daphne.
Right. Yeah, I know. Right. But so do you think that, oh, okay, so but the uploading the vlogs as opposed to like just streaming and leaving them there, you think that that's going to make some kind of difference?
Well, I'm going to find out for science.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's always
Because
good.
we did for a minute experiment with that, but then like life started throwing
Right.
curveballs.
Oh yeah,
and
sure.
I wasn't able to put the focus on the channel like
Yeah.
I needed to, and I still don't know if I'm there yet. I mean, I got a whole bunch of shit going on.
Right.
But I'm going to. That is something that I can apply very easily.
Right.
And
Okay.
that's something I can experiment with pretty easily. And I have a strong suspicion that that will help.
Right. Did you get CapCut back?
No, I haven't got CapCut. There's a whole, none of the editing apps are back. Like I'm missing 4 of my favorite editing apps are gone.
Wow.
TikTok's back because they were the
Right.
squeaky wheel that everybody was like, we're monetized on here and everything else. So it's
Right.
the other apps and stuff might take a few minutes to
Right. Yeah,
come back, but I'm
probably.
sure they will. I mean, even if you go on the Google Play Store, at
Right.
least as of last night, they were saying that they're working on a resolution for CapCut,
Right.
which is the most important app for me because that's my favorite. It's got the best.
Right. Yeah, a lot of people seem to like that one. You know.
Let's see. Yeah, looking for CapCut. Downloads on this app are paused due to current U.S. legal requirements.
Right. Yeah. Sell to Zuckerberg.
And here's the thing: if you're
right.
using the free version of CapCut, there's no what information are they getting that's not publicly available anywhere anyway?
Well,
nothing.
Look, it has nothing.
I have no credit card numbers on there, no medical history, no.
They
know that I have a Facebook, and hello, Facebook's public and everywhere. So it's like, man, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, but an uncomfortable amount of senators own stock in Facebook that, you know.
But it's not even a
competition.
There's no competition there, no nothing. They just took that shit and it's fucking hindering creators.
Right, yeah.
I mean, that's all it's doing.
Well, make line go up. So let's see. So what else? Let's see. So I'm still fussing with this whole convention thing. It's so, what is it? So the other day, right, Jose asked me, it's like, oh, so how's your campaign doing? And I'm like, yeah. I'm
Oh,
kind of
God.
like that,
I don't know.
you know? And he's like going, it's your campaign. And I go, yeah, but it's like, there comes a point where it's like, if I've done everything that I could, if I've uploaded all my, updates for the day, right?
Right.
And, sent out my newsletters and did everything that I could, and and line does not go up, what am I going to sweat over? You
Right.
know? And it's like, I'm not going to sit there, I forgot the refresh button. F12, what is it? F8? I don't know.
11, 7. So I don't know. Fuck
Yeah,
it. It's
yeah, yeah.
something.
It's, and it's like, I'm not going to sit there refreshing and then like trying to like, mentally make the numbers move. I mean, that's not how that works. And it's like,
Right.
so it's like, look, it is what it is. I mean, there's this very bit, my last couple of campaigns have been kind of strange in terms of physically they're making less money, but more people are buying PDFs, which means that technically I'm making more money because I'm making less physical product. So
Less is
it
more.
balances out, like especially these last Tall Tales campaigns. We don't make a lot of money on those campaigns. Hold on.
Bless you.
Oof. So we don't make a lot of money on Tall Tales, but these last couple of campaigns were the most money that we've made on Tall Tales because so many PDFs were sold. We didn't have to make anything.
Right.
So whatever money we made, we were able to take home a bigger chunk of it because, we only have to print 30 books instead of 80, so the number itself, like the dollar amount may not seem like a lot, but the take home is. I mean,
Right.
it's kind of weird, right? So yeah, so it's like, also it's like I've been just stressed out with everything in general, and it's like, you know what? It's like I gotta it. I can't, there's only so much room in my head for everything. So it's like, you know what? The campaign's going to go the way it's going to go. I'm going to do what I've always done anyway, but it's like, it's going to go where it's going to go,
Right.
and it's like, and I can't really worry about it, because there's only so much I can do, and it's like, I'm not going to sit here gnashing my teeth over what I don't know what I need to do, It's
Right.
like, so the so after the whole thing with Diamond filing for chapter 11, right? It's like, it kind of like made me like really, really think about, okay, what's the next step? It's like maybe, but
Right.
then again, I've been thinking about this for a while, and it's this whole obsession with conventions, right? That
Right.
it's like, what other outlets? Oh, maybe I need to go back to doing conventions again and blah, 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 right? And I thought I was going to sign up for a bunch of conventions this year, and I've decided to just actually just leave it to what I have already, except for one. Well, two actually. I was going to try to do like a whole bunch of anime conventions, in Washington D.C. and here, and just like, but then I kind of realized, like, you know what? It's been decades since I've been to an anime convention, and I have no idea what those things are like anymore. So, am I really serving myself? Am I just making more problems for myself by signing up for a whole bunch of conventions? I have no idea what the scene is like
How to even
anymore.
prepare for.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. It's like I only have two conventions that are confirmed this year: Monsterotica, but I'm only going to that one to scope it out and to see if it is something viable, you know. And Baltimore Comic Con. I actually seriously considered canceling Baltimore, but it's like I decided, you know what? It's like, let me just do it. Let me just do it and see if it's any better than from the last time I was there. So those are the two confirmed conventions. I'm not changing either one of those. But I decided I was going to limit my anime conventions to just Anime NYC. Because it's at the Javits Center. It's right here. It's like, keep it simple, right? So, but here's the funny thing though, right? So again, all these small channels keep popping up, and someone just happened to pop up talking about how they won't do anime conventions anymore. And I go, oh, let me check this video out, right? And what was really funny is that so this woman was talking about how she's been doing, I don't know, conventions for like the past, I don't know, 5 years, like a little bit pre-pandemic or something.
Right.
And she was talking about how for her, anime conventions have been her worst, have been her worst conventions, especially lately. And she was talking about how anime conventions, especially artist alleys, has pretty much been overrun by people selling prints and keychains of all of the same fan art that of whatever is hot,
Right.
So, and then what makes it worse is that, they're difficult to get into because a lot of anime conventions, if not all of them, go by lottery system, not even curated. They're all go by lottery system. So if you win the lottery, you get a table, right? And what they said that what that does is that it allows people to come in that shouldn't be there. What they're talking about is, AI slop slingers.
Right.
Drop shippers are a huge problem at anime conventions. They buy all their shit on Temu and Wish, and then they go to an artist alley and pretend that they did the work.
Right.
And it's like, that's grimy as fuck,
Right.
But then again, they said that unfortunately the exhibitor hall is no different. It's mostly just all drop shippers just selling bootleg shit. Like, it used to be that anime conventions were really strict on, like, you're not allowed to sell bootleg. Now it seems like they don't even care.
Huh.
So you don't even know what you're looking at anymore. That and Funko Pops. So, so the more she was talking, the more it's like, holy shit. It's like, it sounds like anime conventions have gone the same way as comic book conventions, because she was like it's like, Jesus Christ, how many times do you guys need to see the same 7 voice actors?
Ain't that the truth? The hobbits are here.
Right. Yeah. It's like, take those bitches to Isengard. We've seen them enough.
Oh my God, I wish I had that clip right now.
I mean, it's like, right. So it's like, like, how many times can you stand to see the same 7 voice actors? Right. And she was just like going on this whole thing. Right. And she, and of course, some other videos popped up because I guess like Anime Expo, like the largest anime convention in the United States, they just recently got rid of all their, their curated, I guess that, like, because they would curate their artist alleys, and they completely got rid of that for a pure lottery system, right? And a lot of people are pissed off.
Yeah.
Because it's like they had a system where if you vended at Anime Expo 10 times, you were considered legacy and you were guaranteed a table every time you wanted one. It's like you were given priority, to get a table before everybody else, right? And then they had like another thing where if you if you were kind of like grandfathered in, so it's like they also gave you priority, but not as much as if you were there longer, right? And then everybody else was curated in. Now it's all lottery. Because it's supposed to be fair, right? To give everybody the same chance of getting a table. And I call bullshit on that. Any show that does a lottery instead of curating, they're only doing that because they don't want to bother curating. They just want,
there's work involved.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's all that tells me is that if you're a convention and you're not willing to curate, who goes into your artist alley. That tells me you don't give a shit who's in your artist alley. And it's like,
as long as line go up.
As long as line go up, right? It's like, well, you're paying for the tables. That's all we care about. Did you pay for the table? That's all we care, right? And again, it's like they're not caring about the people who are going to these conventions, right? So here's the thing. I was talking a bit about this on my stream, on my draw stream. So the only people who seem to be really excited about the lottery system are all like, it's like, oh, so all of us who are just starting out. Well, no, like the people who are just starting out, and it's like, oh, now we don't have to compete with people with legacy sellers, because now we have a chance to get into these conventions, right? Let me put it like this: the only people who are excited about lottery were amateurs. The kids who are just like, oh, now maybe finally I have a chance to get into Anime Expo, right? And you see, I understand the sentiment, but at the same time, that's why these conventions need to curate their artist alleys so that they can balance out legacy people, long-term people, bring in new people. They can balance all that out. Honestly, I think the best convention that did that was San Diego Comic-Con. Like, if you couldn't just send in your check, you had to send in examples of what you were going to have for that show, because they didn't want, if you were going to be there year after year, you better have new shit.
Right.
They're not going to have a person been there for 10 years and only sell the same issue 1 for 10 years. We've seen that. So they weren't going to have that. So they had to, so it's like you had to send them samples of what you were going to have new for that San Diego you were trying to get into. So I don't know how these other conventions, I guess they would curate by asking for online portfolios. What was your art? What type of artwork you have, and this, that, and the other thing, right? So the thing that I was mentioning, right, especially since you have like all these kids going, oh, finally, I'll have a chance to get into these conventions, right? Look. If this is your local convention where it costs me $5 to get in, or it's free, and tables were like $40 or $50, and and it's like,
that's one thing.
All you had to, right? That's one thing. You know what? It's like if I go to a show like that, and
if I'm paying $90 to go look at your garbage, I mean, not garbage. God, that's rude.
But
it's basic ass shit that I could just.
What? It's like. Look, I put it like this. I'm not spending $200, $300 to get into a convention. Right. I don't want to pay to get into the shop, then have to hunt for something decent to buy. That's a lot of work that I don't want to do. Lottery artists should be free to view. That's a good, that's yeah. It's like, look, I'm not spending, like, if I'm at a $5 convention, it's like, I don't mind if I see like the local amateur artists there, because that's what shows like that are for. But if I'm paying $300 for a weekend pass, I don't want to see, well, grandma said my artwork was good at a table.
Mom put it on the fridge for a week.
Right. It's like, oh, I just started drawing a year ago. I don't want to see that shit at a convention I had to pay premium to get into. I do want a heavily curated experience at a show. And you better not fucking have, the filter jockeys and AI slop mongers. You better not have that there. It's like, the guys who would run, it's like, even before AI, you'd have these guys who would run stills from TV shows or movies through a Photoshop filter, and then they would sell prints of it. Oh yeah, it's like, oh, did you do the work? Yeah, I did the work. I ran it through a watercolor filter on in Photoshop. It's like, I don't want to see those assholes there. I don't want to see amateurs. I don't want to see no filter guys. I don't want to see no AI, garbage. It's like, that's not what I'm paying my money for. I don't want to see drop shippers. I mean, it's like, I think like the saddest thing, there was a couple of crochet artists that I watch where they do like original patterns and they make them for shows. And and it's like, and they said that the anime shows, like they started allowing drop shippers at, who would buy like like crochet flowers on Wish, and then they would be in the artist alley competing against these people who made their own patterns.
Right.
And it's like, oh, and then it's like one girl, she was saying that the crochet drop shipper people would go up to, it's like, oh, are you this person on YouTube? Are you working with them? And they would go, yes. Like they're literally like imitate, like just falsely claiming they're other people just to get the sale.
I hate people.
Right. And it's like, and of course, like the girl was rightfully upset, that it's like, it's like, I do all this effort to make these crochet like anime flowers and stuff, and then you have this drop shipper pretending to be her at a convention. I mean, no, that person should have been weeded out in the application process. Yeah. Oh, kind of like, remember, oh, this is going to date me so much. Remember those drawing tests in the TV guide? Where it's
What's
like,
the
oh,
TV
draw
guide?
the bear. Right, exactly. That's how old I am. It's like, you draw the bear, draw the turtle, and then it's like, it's like, oh, send it in. We'll send you like a drawing school kit or something. And it's like, yeah, it's almost like that, to get into an artist alley, right? So yeah, it's like, I don't want to go to a convention. It's like, I go to a convention to see new things, to see interesting things, not shit that I can already buy on Amazon or Temu or stuff like that. It's like, I still remember this, the one time, like, my mother drove us to MegaCon very long time ago, and she couldn't understand the concept of a convention. She was like going, wait, let me get this straight. People are paying an entrance fee to shop?
That's it.
Well, look, it's Melissa, it's like the AI bros,
Money.
I mean, it's like,
That's why it's okay to them.
They don't
as
care.
long as they get paid.
Right. Oh, and another thing that she was complaining about, proxy sellers. Right. This is really big with the print people, with the print mongers, where it's like, instead of being in an artist alley representing their work, they hire multiple people to be at conventions at the same time for them.
Yeah.
And it's like, no proxies should be an artist alley. That makes you a dealer. That person's a dealer. They should be in the exhibit hall. If you, the artist, are not there, you don't get to be in artist alley. So I'm watching this video and I'm like going, oh my God, it's like, this is the same shit that's going on with comic conventions. It's like, they put comic book in the name, but it's in theory. It's not about the artists. It's not about, it's like, so that's why it's like, we go to comic conventions and we're like, oh, you sell comics? What is that? It's like, I don't know. It's the shit that's in the name of the show. It's like, so yeah, so it was just like kind of, it was just like kind of like weird seeing that. And I go, okay, you know what? Let me narrow down what I can even do before committing myself to all these anime shows that I don't even know will be even worth my time.
Right.
Because the other thing that she was complaining about, how all the Artist Alley is full of just fan art people. Like, you don't see any original, you barely see any original artwork, and you definitely don't see anybody doing comics.
So it's just a Comic-Con.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So it's like, on one hand, I'm like going, I don't think this is going to work for me. But on the other hand, I'm going, it's like, well, if I'm doing comics and nobody else is, would that make me stand out at an anime convention?
Mm.
So in the end, I decided I was going to say, okay, let me get into Anime NYC and see what happens, right? And that's if I even get into it. Because again, I think they do lottery, either an lottery or curated. I don't know what they do. So if I can get into Anime NYC, then I can kind of like test that. It's going to cost me, I think the table's like $500, right?
Huh.
That's kind of like basic now. It's like everybody's charging that now. Because you know what it is? It used to be back in the day that exhibitor tables would help subsidize Artist Alley. Now, exhibitor and Artist Alley are used to subsidize the same 7 voice actors that come in, and William Shatner. So I'm going to try Anime NYC and see what happens. At worst, if I don't get in, I'll probably just buy like a 1-day ticket just to go and see if I was even, scope it out and see if I was even wasting my time.
Right.
Because and that's the thing too. It's like, I'm not sure if it's the fact that, like, New York really doesn't have a lot of conventions. They really don't. I mean, there used to be, but I guess it's like, it's such
you have a lot in comparison to Louisiana.
I mean, I guess it's because it's so expensive, and so every convention you try to do here. It's not like when Randy talks about how he rented out a hall and he created his own convention because it was actually like less expensive than traveling to conventions. And it's like, oh, no, you couldn't do that here. You couldn't do that here.
Mm-mm.
I mean, unless you have the money already that you don't need, to run a convention, it's like that doesn't, it's not an easy thing here. It's like, and mind you, I've been looking.
Inconceivable.
Inconceivable. I mean, back in the day, it used to be like you could find a convention nearby like every weekend. Whether it was like at a college campus or like a Legionnaires Hall, one of those things called Knights of Columbus type of thing, or our church.
Order of the Moose.
Yeah, for real. I'm not joking. Yeah,
I know.
I mean, it's like we would find like every weekend practically there'd be something, and it's like, now it's like, it's just a lot. Like, I see. Melissa says, I would think California would be just as expensive as New York, but there are tons of cons out there. Yeah, that was the thing that surprised me. Lou says, I grew up in a country where you didn't get a trophy for showing up, so I have a hard time not calling out shit when I see it. No, absolutely. Absolutely. No, you see, the funny thing here, as much as everybody talks about, oh, everyone got a trophy for nothing, who was giving out the trophies?
Our parents.
Participation trophies, right? Oh, everybody got a participation trophy. Kids weren't giving the trophies out to themselves. And the same parents who were giving out participation trophies are the same ones complaining that we all act like we expect trophies. Just
look, dude, when my high school softball team had the senior year, when they had the final award ceremony or whatever, we sat the bench when they started calling our names for the participation trophies.
Right.
We refused. We didn't even walk the field to get them.
Right. Yeah. Look, because we know it's fake. We know it's fake. And you see, and that's the thing. It's like, instead of like building our self-esteems. Instead, they create an entire generation who uh questions any type of compliment.
Right.
You know, we question any type of enthusiasm towards our effort because we question whether it's genuine. It's like, oh, are you really proud of us, or are you just saying that?
Right.
Make me feel better. Yeah, that's kind of the problem. And then they wonder why we're all neurotic and shit.
Huh.
You know. So with the so with the conventions, it's like I don't even know if they're even feasible, because it's like, you know, I swear to God, back in the day, like me and Jose would do like practically a convention like every other weekend. There was always something. Now it's like, yeah, now it's like I'm lucky if I'm doing one in May and one in October. You know, but also I think that has a lot to do with the fact that it's like, you know, when every convention's table is $500, you know, and then the cost of having to, it's like, you know, is this really viable, you know, for us? You know, especially when even my worst Kickstarter makes more money than my best convention.
Hmm.
You know, it's like where some conventions, it could take me an entire weekend to make $500, but if I throw a book up on Kickstarter, I make that in 2 hours. You know, it. So it's like, so yeah. So I guess what it boils down to is that if I'm doing everything I can already to push to try to push my right, to try to push my Kickstarter, if what's the point in like worrying about it?
Right.
You know, it's like, are even the conventions going to like translate to anything? I don't know. It's like, oh, because also the worst part is, it's like the point of going to a convention is not to break even.
Hmm.
You know, honestly, it's like, I think I don't know which is
No,
worse.
but it seems to have become the thing because you ask people how the con go. Well, I made table.
Right. And it's like, I don't know which is worse. Saying that
You
you
made
didn't
table,
make
but did you
money.
make gas? Did you make food?
Right.
Did you
Yeah.
make
Like it's like, okay, you paid for your expenses
right?
that if you didn't go to the show, you wouldn't have. Right? Yeah. See?
Einstein knows.
Yeah, he knows it, right? Right. Um, so yeah, so that's kind of, you know, so I don't know, maybe just in the end I'm getting to a point where I'm just like, I'm just like, you know, tired of feeling like I'm just hitting a brick wall. And it's like, you know what? Right. Certainly less creepy comic bros negging you when you run a Kickstarter as opposed to doing a con. You know, well, they both suck anyway.
Yeah.
They'll neg you for everything. You know, which is kind of like, maybe that's also part of the problem too. Way too many people are we're surrounded by way too many people who enjoy seeing you fail. So you know, or worse, they'll help you, they want you to succeed just enough as long as you don't do better than them. And it's like, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just crabby about the whole thing. You know, it's like, you know, because it's like, I don't know, but also the thing too is that I haven't been right since I finished penciling out issue 16. I haven't been right since I finished penciling Ego Raven. And I don't know, I've just been going through kind of like this whole conflict thing, that it's like, if my goal was to finish a series, technically I did. Now what? You know? And now I'm at the now what phase. Although I still do have to finish Tall Tales. You know, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm just kind of like overthinking as always. Although the other thing with signing up for an anime convention too, right, is that I was talking to Jose about this yesterday, that it's like I'm still obsessed with the idea that format is also an issue. That it's like if I go to an anime convention with a traditional full-size trade paperback, is that going to hold me back than if I go to the convention with, say, like a digest version? So it's like, so if this is, if this is a full-size comic, right? What if I were to shrink this down to this size? So we used to do these digest size trade paperbacks, right? It's like, would do inches matter? You know what I mean? It's like if I go to a comic book convention, everybody expects you to have everything to be this size. But if I go to an anime convention, if I have this, are people going to go, "Oh, that's too big"? That's not going to fit on my shelf. But if I had this, would they more likely to pick this up because this will fit next to their manga books as opposed to this? Right. So that's a whole other thing I have to think of. It's like, well, if I say I do make it into Anime NYC, do I have to print up yes, it's amazing, but it could be as dumb as that. It's true. That's what I'm kind of having that feeling. It's like, do I have to reprint this in this size for me to give myself a fighting chance at an anime show? So that's a whole other thing I have to think of. Luckily, this size is also the perfect size if I ever did like novel conventions at the same time, because it's a very similar size to, usually they do like 4x6s, but if there's like, this is 5.5 by 8.5. So if I could do like a middle size, then it's like I can fit into more odd conventions than if I just stuck with comic book size. So yeah, so that's that's also going to be the theme of my video today too, when I record it later. But yeah, it's like, because it's like I'm going to have to test this theory out somehow,
right?
And it's like, if I get right, and if I get into Anime NYC, I'm going to have to reformat my trades, which, to be fair, I am in the process of doing that, of reformatting this to the smaller size. Actually, I did like a sample, printed out a sample page just to make sure that the lettering is still pretty legible. I think so. So it's like I can still read it. So yeah, so that's going to be the size difference. And it's like, is that going to be the change I need to make?
Right.
It's not the content, it's the size. Will it fit on these people, the people who collect novels and manga? Because even the manhwa, the Korean ones, it's like they're a little bit larger than manga, but still, they're still on the smaller side than trade paperbacks. So it's like, it's not just about going to conventions anymore. It's about, okay, do I have to change my product to cater to the audience at these conventions too? And it's like, that's a lot of thinking that I don't remember us not having to do. I don't remember us having to do back in the day. We just went to a convention.
Right.
We just put our books on the table. Like, I don't remember us thinking. It's funny because it's like, I don't ever remember thinking about the audience back then as much as I think about them now. It's just really strange. It's
Life
like
was simpler.
yeah, like I don't know if it's like because of the whole social media thing where it's like, oh, you have to give the audience what they want. I never had to think about that before. I've always been able to say with my full chest, I do my comics for me. I do my artwork for me.
Right.
An audience of one, right? And if you guys like it, that's a cherry on the cake. But it hasn't been that easy to be that to be that full, kind of like full of myself like that. It's like, no, wait a minute. It's like I really do have to think about the audience. Like, what is it? Like, I can still do what I like, but how do I change? How do I change things so that the audience would be more likely to support it? I mean, it's kind of like, and what's really funny, what really kind of like, what really, really put me back on this path is that Jose had backed Girl with the Mega Fists, Volume 4, and he finally got his copy. And I had forgotten that Tyler does that book small size. It's just I think it was a little larger than 4x6. But it's not traditional comic book size. It's not manga size, but it's not traditional. And I was looking at it and I go, oh, holy shit. It's like, obviously I'm not the only one thinking about size, the size of the book. It's like, I don't know if that's a deliberate thing on Tyler's part or not, but it just put me back on this track where it's like, I really got to seriously think about, do I have to make a manga size of my comic in order to appeal to an audience that likes manga and are more likely to read the story that I'm telling than, say, your average mainstream comic head. It's like, that's, it's like, yeah, it's like if the whole thing is about finding a new audience, it's like, how do I rethink things? And like I said, I've never remember having to think about this before. And it's like, on one hand, it's like, oh, it makes sense. But on the other hand, I kind of resent the shit out of it because it's like, it never feels like I'm doing enough. It never feels like I'm getting this right. It's like, yeah, I could finish the story. I could finish the comic. I could finish the book. I could have all my trade paperbacks, right? But it's like, if I don't know how to market these books to the audience that I want, like, yeah, I really am an audience of one. I'm going to be the only one. Well, no, that's not true. It's like, it's me and 150 other people who regularly back me on Kickstarter. How about that? It's like, I don't want to dismiss the people who are actually supporting the book. And thank you so much for everybody who is supporting the book. But so that's kind of like where I'm at. I'm kind of like, okay, how do I work this convention thing? Is it even an option? Because they are expensive. And I'm not looking forward to spending this type of money. And it's like, but it's like, as our ability to target audiences directly becomes smaller and smaller and smaller, what, in the end, it's like, what else can we do? Right? I'm literally kind of like just throwing shit on the wall. It's like, okay, let's do conventions again. Let's do these videos, let's do, put it on Webtoons. Let's, I don't know. It's like anything that I could think of, and it's like, well, at least the little videos are gaining some traction. So at least I know that's working. It's doing something,
Right.
I don't know. And you see, and that's the thing too. Like, I know people read Eagle Raven is they're reading Eagle Raven and Tall Tales on Webtoon, but it hasn't gotten to a point where it's like, okay, they're reading it there, but like, what is it really doing for me? Oh, it's like Melissa, me shooting myself in the foot doing a series in UK standard size for aesthetic. Yeah, I mean, in the end, that's what the manga thing, the manga size is kind of for me. It's like, it'd be kind of, on one hand, it is kind of aesthetic. The problem is, it's not necessarily my aesthetic, but if it's aesthetic enough that the person who likes that aesthetic buys it, I mean, I got to keep that in mind, right? So, so much to think about, Nita. All I want to do is just go to a convention and sell books. What the heck? Why is it so hard? Oh my goodness. I think that's enough yapping for me. I have a plumber coming over soon, so I gotta
sometimes.
yeah, I know. So I gotta deal with that. So, and I know you got stuff to do too. So any final thoughts on this?
Check out the campaigns in the show notes. Freaking keep tuning in. We got new stuff coming, and just there's just things and stuff and just
and stuff. Yeah. There's always stuff. There's always stuff. Yeah. So that's it for me as well. That's all I got for today. Thank you so much, everybody in the chat, for hanging out with us. Thank you so much for our beautiful eyeball people being our silent partners in this. Thank you so much. You guys could be anywhere else listening to anybody else, but instead you decided to hang with us for the hour, and we really appreciate you for that. Thank you so much. I hope you at least got something out of it. I don't know, something. I don't know. If just the opportunity to say, "Oh, you bitches is stupid," it's like, yeah, we know.
We know.
We're fine with that. It's just a dumb show we do on the internet. What else could it be? What else could we possibly be? So if you want to learn more about me and my artwork and my campaigns, you can head on over to my main portfolio site at egoworks.com, EGOWORKS, where you can find links to all of my galleries and social media sites, but I mostly post to Facebook if you're interested in seeing sketches and current work in progress updates. And remember that you can also check me out here on YouTube for 600 plus videos on how I do my artwork. And you can catch me on my semi-weekly art live streams Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern. I usually alternate every Wednesday with a draw stream, 2 hours of drawing and hanging out with the chat, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern. It's kind of like being at a convention without me having to worry about the cost of my table.
Yeah.
And whether I'm breaking even. And remember, you can also read Eagle Raven, Air the First Unicorn for free, uploading every day, Monday through Friday. But if you prefer your fantasy to be more of a furry Lord of the Rings adventure, you can follow the link over to Tall Tales Online. And not only can you read the first 20 issues of Tall Tales for free, but you can catch up on the latest story arc, Tears of the Mother, which is also currently uploading Monday through Friday. But if you prefer to read your books on Webtoons, you can catch Eagle Raven and Tall Tales on Webtoons as well. Eagle Raven updates every Tuesday on Webtoon, and Tall Tales updates every Thursday. We're just finishing up issue 3 on both series. So thank you so much to everybody who subscribed on Webtoons and given me a little ratings on there. Thank you so much for that. It's like, you know what? I don't care where you read them as long as you read them. That's what matters to me. So thank you so much again. Monday, we're not going to be here because Nita has an appointment and I also got to take care of things, but that's the way it goes. So we'll see you. But that's why you should click on the notification bell so you get notified when we go live again.
Right. Especially right now because it is chaotic as fuck.
Right. Yeah, it really is. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. And in the words of the ancients, eat your food, moisturize, mind your business, and do the work. Because when you actually do the work, you never have to fake any of your accomplishments. Thank you so much again, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out.